All right, good morning, everybody. Well, that was better than yesterday morning. Still not sure you're all awake. Should we try it again? Good morning, everybody. Yes, all right, welcome to Connection Summit. This is a meeting planned here between RAIN RFID Alliance, the AIM Association. I'm sorry, I lost the word. God. We haven't started yet. AIM Association and the NFC Forum. We have a full day of meetings. We're going to do a little bit of logistics type stuff and introductions here to start with, and then we'll get on to the keynotes. Once we have done the keynotes, there'll be a break, and then we'll go split up into rooms. So I'm going to start the stuff now. I think we're all settled down, so let's get going. So as I said, our host partners are AIM, the NFC Forum, and RAIN RFID, three associations that are very much involved in data collection techniques, all with slightly different focus, but all very much in the same area as regards moving forward and collecting data. Our summit sponsors, the people who are sponsoring us to be here, our platinum sponsor is Google Cloud, and we thank Google for hosting us here this week. For those of you that are visitors today, the three organizations have been having meetings here all week and will continue on tomorrow and Friday. But today, as you know, is the open day, and we welcome everybody here. So thank you to Google for sponsoring and providing the facilities for us. We have 5 gold sponsors, Aware Innovations, EM Microelectronics, CNRT, SmartTrack, and Teslonix. Thank you to those. These people have helped pay for the various things that are going on, including the reception we will attend tonight. We have some silver sponsors, Murata, Voyantic, Visa, Cellotape, and Cubitech. Thank you to them. And so what I'd like to do is for you all to show your appreciation for all of the sponsors today. So thank you to all of them. All right, so we have some things going on. We'd like to get you involved in what's going on. So I'm going to hand over the next part of the presentation here to Paula Hunter. Paula is the Executive Director for the NFC Forum. She's going to get us going on some fun stuff to start with. Paula.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you for starting this crazy idea well over 6 months ago for the three organizations to come together. It's been an interesting challenge because we all have unique requirements, but I think in the end we've been able to deliver a really fun week, a really informative week for all of our members and the public at large. So, first of all, you may already be a winner, and all you have to do is tap. So I'm hoping that you all got a tattoo card when you came in today. If you didn't, after this session, after the break, check someone for a staff badge, and they'll be happy to give you a card. In this card is a tattoo, and once you tap it, you may be a winner of a Starbucks gift card, a bottle of wine, or an NFC-enabled teddy bear. So please, if you end up being a winner, see the registration table and they will deliver you your gift. As far as how to use it, it's pretty simple. If you have an Android, Microsoft, or BlackBerry phone, you just need to make sure that NFC is enabled. Once you've stuck your tattoo on, tap it, and it will tell you whether or not you're a winner. If you have an iPhone 7 or later, newer, you need to download an application called NXP Tag Info from the App Store. It's free. It takes about a minute to download. It's very quick. Again, affix a tattoo to the back of your hand or wherever you like. Open the app and tap, and it will tell you whether or not you're a winner. So great opportunity for you to use the NFC experience. And also, I should note that your badges are NFC enabled as well. And hopefully you saw the instructions at the front of the desk to see how you can tap this card and collect information about the various attendees here today. So with that, what we wanted to do is each of the organizations give a very brief introduction about our organization so that you understand what our focus is. and then we'll go on to the keynotes. So the NFC Forum is a global organization. We've been in business for over 14 years now, focused on developing the NFC standards, focusing on compliance to those standards and market awareness and education. As you see from the logos above, our board of directors, who are sponsor members, are well represented across the ecosystem. So whether you're a chip manufacturer, a phone manufacturer, a service provider, you have some of the leading brands in the world contributing to the evolution of our specifications and programs. So we thank those sponsors for their ongoing contribution to the forum. So why NFC? Why use NFC? What's happening with the industry? Well, it's really taking off. In recent years, we've seen great adoption of NFC technology in smartphones. By 2020, there'll be over 2 billion NFC-enabled phones around the world. So we're in a great trajectory for NFC adoption. If you think of IoT devices, by 2020, there'll be 36 billion IoT devices on the planet. 1 in 4 individuals, or I'm sorry, four for every person on the planet. Those devices will need commissioning, they will need engagement, and your phone and your NFC technology is a way to enable IoT platforms. The NFC Forum right now is focused on 4 key industries: the automotive sector, Internet of Things, public transport, and retail and payment. So as you'll see, many sessions here today for those industries, but we're always looking for new opportunities. So if you have some new ideas, please let us know about them. And we're seeing great examples of where NFC is being deployed around the world. I don't know if you were familiar with the Nike NBA jersey, which is NFC enabled, allows the fans in the stadium to tap their shirt and interact with Nike and with the NBA on some fun activities. Ironically, you think, well, that's just US centric. We were at our Berlin member meeting in November, and we were walking home from our dinner one night and saw an NFC, the Nike jersey in a sporting goods store in downtown Berlin. So surprised to see that placement in Europe. Speaking of Europe, Mercedes-Benz has recently introduced a NFC car key. So you can use your phone to lock and unlock your car and also set certain functions within the car once you're in it. We also see great adoption in public transport. JR East has implemented NFC technology in Japan and Tokyo, and see great adoption of NFC in Japan, but also around the world. We're seeing more and more NFC deployments in public transport. So with that, what I'd like to do is thank you again for coming and to introduce Chuck Evenhoe, who is chairman of the board of directors of AIM.
Thank you all for coming. On behalf of AIM, I'd like to welcome you all and tell you a little bit about what AIM is and who we are. All right. Page down, right? There we go. So AIM is the Industry Association for Automatic Identification and Data Capture. We're all about education, advocacy, and standards. And we do that by outreach, by working on the standards, having direct relationships into the international standards community, and promoting the use of AIDC properly, right? These days, most millennials, and I'm looking out in the crowd, just think barcodes, RFID just kind of works. We're here to help you understand that there are standards behind that and what we do. So we're about advancing the automatic identification and data capture technologies and doing it through globalization, as you see here, with all the different members from different countries that we have. So again, welcome on behalf of AIM. We're all about advancing the application of automatic identification and data capture while helping our members, stakeholders, advance and use properly and get value out of what AIM technologies contribute. We've been around for nearly 50 years. I believe we're celebrating our 50th in about 1 year. I have to stop and think about that one. And we're in use every day, from the The original use was a UPC barcode that you all would know was a UPC barcode in the retail environment almost 40 years ago, all the way to the QR codes being used today, RFID, both RAIN and active and RTLS type applications. Those are all in the purview of AIM. We have chapters across the world, so we are truly a global association, and we have over 400 member companies across the world. So some of you may not know what AIM really stands for. We are originally Association of Automatic Identification Manufacturers, and that was nearly 50 years ago. Through the years, we've transitioned and made the transition to a stakeholder organization so that we incorporated end users and systems integrators over the last 15 years. So now we welcome the entire chain of the stakeholder environment for the AIDC. And that includes, again, end users such as Boeing and now, Steve, you're looking at me, it's like Dell and Intel and manufacturers all the way to people like EM Micro and Honeywell, which was Intermec at one point in time, and then Zebra, which also incorporated Motorola, and so on. So again, we are a stakeholder association, and we're here to serve you. Thank you. And now it's my pleasure to reintroduce Steve Halliday, the president of RAIN.
All right, everybody. Good morning again. As Chuck said, I am Steve Halliday. I act as the president of the RAIN RFID Alliance. The Alliance was formed back in 2014 to provide a marketing alliance specifically for passive UHF RFID that conforms to the GS1 EPC Gen 2 and ISO IEC 18063 standards. Okay, so here's the test now. We do this all the time. How many of you remember what I just said? So you don't have to remember. The thing to remember is that RAIN is the brand name for UHF RFID, and that's where we're going, and that's what we're trying to do. In some of the other presentations that we do, we have a whole soup full of acronyms like that, and I try and test you all at the end, but I'll let you off today. You don't have to go through that. So we currently have, I think it's 160 at the moment, members worldwide. Our members also include people like manufacturers of the technology and software, the solution providers, the test houses, academia, and end users. So we've got a fairly good representation running around the world. There are a lot of those members here today, and you'll see that they have a RAIN member flag on them. So if you see one and you want to talk about RAIN technology, please feel free to stop them and talk about it. Oh, it takes time. There we go. So what is RAIN? Well, we like to think of it as a wireless technology that connects billions of everyday items to the internet, enabling businesses and consumers to identify, locate, authenticate, and engage. What do I mean by that? Well, we all know that you can look at something, scan a barcode, read an NFC tag, read a RAIN tag. And what are we doing there? Well, first thing we're doing is identifying the tag and the thing that it's sitting on. But we also think of it as a means to locate that item. We have security protocols built that we can use so that we can authenticate the item, and we can also engage with it. We have tags that have been built with sensors in it, with electrical buses that can talk to actuators and so forth. So we really can use the technology to engage with everything that's out there. In one of Paula's slides, she talked about how many people, how many IoT devices by 2020 and where things are going. So I wanted to include a quick slide just to show you how RAIN is doing on that forecast, and just to give you an idea of where we are. You're going to learn a lot more about numbers in a minute from one of the keynote speakers, but for now anyway, in 2016, there were just over 5 billion RAIN tags deployed. In 2017, it was around 10 million. And in 2018, we think it'll be over 12 billion, excuse me. 12 billion in 2018. So you can see, so we're talking about over, quick, do some math, Steve. Almost 30 billion tags in those 3 years. You can see the numbers that we're talking about. RAIN provides the means of doing the identify, authenticate, locate, and engage for things. Your pair of socks, pair of jeans, whatever. It's already in use in many, many places, and you can see that we already have a massive engagement using the technology. And here at the conference today, you're going to learn from some of those people, some of the things they're doing and where they're going. We're going to find out a little bit more about all of the technologies that are involved here and how people are using them. So let's get on with some of the things that you probably really do care about. Restrooms. If you go that way, you come out of this door, there's a big orange block in front of you. That's an elevator block. If you go round it to the other side, you'll see the restrooms there. If you keep on walking, there are some gender neutral restrooms around the corner there, if you need those. Meeting room locations, we have 3 meeting rooms we're going to break down into. There's one here, there's one there, and there's one behind me. And I'll tell you their names in a minute because I can't remember. So when we get to the right slide, I can tell you where they are. But anyway, one meeting room over there, one meeting room behind me, and this one. So when we're doing 3 tracks, those are the 3 rooms that we'll be using. When we come back at the end of the day to 1 track, you can be in any of the rooms like you can be in any of the rooms right now, because what I'm saying is being echoed out to the other 2 rooms. Wi-Fi. If you want to log on and check that email, though I can't imagine why you would want to do that rather than listen to me. But if you need to check email, you can use the Google Guest access point. It's open, so you don't need passwords or anything, so just log on to Google Guest. The obvious reminder, please turn off all of your cell phones. At the very least, silence them. There's nothing more annoying to a presenter than having a phone ring. And I assure you that if your phone rings during the presentation, we're going to make you feel very guilty. So turn them off or silence them. So if there's at any point that you need help with anything, the registration desk is out here. The ladies will be out there manning that all the time, or you can find any of the other staff members that are here that have got a staff ribbon on, and they can help you. So our agenda, a little crowded, the slide, but hopefully you can read it. We're in welcome and introductions. At 9:30, Anthony Passamard from Google is going to give us one of the keynotes. That will be followed by Raghu Das from ID TechX, who will give a second keynote. We will then have a networking break, and you'll get the chance to go to the meeting room of your choice, where we have 3 tracks running. Retail and smart products, security and blockchain, and healthcare. Then lunch. I'll talk about lunch in just a minute. And then we come back into the 3 rooms for the second part of retail and smart products, Internet of Things, and market opportunities. We'll follow that with yet another networking break. Lots of time for you guys to get together, chat, talk, whatever. Use your phones to access the information on your badges so that you can learn who you're talking to. Back at 4 o'clock for some presentations from the sponsors of the meeting here today. And at 4:30, we're going to have a panel called The Intelligence of Things. What does the future hold for IoT? That panel will run until about 5:15, when we'll have some closing remarks and some more news for you. So you'll want to be here for that. And then at 5:30, we'll all break up, and there'll be a networking reception out here in the cafe, I think. And there'll be food and drink and everything. And we invite everybody to join us for a drink for an hour and a half, have some snacks, and really meet some of the people that have been here today. Lunch is at 12:30. Lunch is pizza. And it will be set up in the Dan Bricklin room. So behind me over here is a room where you probably picked up your coffee. Off of that room is the Dan Bricklin room. You'll be able to pick up pizza and bring it back and eat it wherever you can find space. If there's anyone for whom pizza is a problem, just come and see one of the staff people and we'll help you with that problem. So again, 5:30, we're going to have a networking happy hour. Please come and join us. There'll be plenty of food, plenty of drink. If you're a member and you were here last night, you know how good it was. So I'm sure it will be even better tonight. So finally, oh no, not finally, excuse me. The presentations. It's become very noticeable in presentations. Lots of people taking pictures of the slides and getting lost in the presentation, trying to take notes, taking pictures, doing the rest of it. We'll make all of the presentations that we can available to you. You will get an email with a link so that you can download the presentations. So don't worry too much if you missed a slide that you really needed to understand better. You'll get a chance to look at them all in your office later. So those are the three organizations again. We seem to have missed a slide somehow. Anyway, all right, so let's talk about meeting rooms. When we start after the break this morning, the retail group will meet in here, retail track. The security and blockchain track will meet in Eleanor Ostrom. Eleanor Ostrom is that one there, behind the ladies that are doing registration. The healthcare group will meet in Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton is this one right here. In the afternoon, there's a slight switch around. In the retail, we'll go to Eleanor Ostrom, and IoT will come in here. So even though you might have come in here for retail this morning, you're going to go over there this afternoon. And then the market presentations will take place in Alexander Hamilton. So you should have picked up an agenda when you came in. So, and you can always ask any of the staff people or the ladies out front, especially to help you if you get lost. On the, I can show you on the NFC app that you have that allows you to read your tags on your phone. You can see, I don't know how many you can see the home screen here, but you can go to the agenda, or you can learn more about the speakers here on your phone. So there's lots of information available to you. Just make sure you have downloaded that app. For those of you that didn't get the instructions, the app is called NFC Forum Member Meetings. It's in both the Google App Store and in the Apple App Store. Take you a minute or so to download it, and it'll give you a lot of information. Plus, it will allow you to scan those tags on the badges. And